Hello, and welcome to Dark Hearts with Stacy Lee. I'm glad you chose to join me today. I bring you a lot of stories about psychotic behavior. Today's story is different. The woman we are talking about today is in a category by herself. If this woman told me the sky was blue, I'd look up to make sure. She lied about every aspect of her life. She lied about her family, about her finances, about her history, about her own mother, but none of those lies can hold a candle to the lie she told that fooled everyone until it didn't. And this lie would end in a gruesome double murder that landed this lunatic a spot on female death row in Texas. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to support me and help me keep the episodes coming. This is the story of Taylor Parker, psychotic, shocking deception. I'm your host, Stacy Lee. Let's begin. Our story begins in Bowie County, Texas, home to cities like Texarkana, Red Lick, and New Boston. One of the residents of Bowie County was this woman, Taylor Parker. Taylor was the mother to a daughter and a son who have different fathers. She'd been married to both of these men, and both marriages ended in divorce. People who know Taylor say her relationships were always fraught with drama. There was always fighting and arguing, and Taylor was known to be difficult. According to Taylor, there were reasons for this because, you see, Taylor told anyone who would listen that her mother was a monster. Now, this is one of those situations where no one can really know the full truth. There are people who say that Taylor's mom, Shauna Pryor, doesn't always tell the truth and that she, too, can be difficult. Not long after Taylor's second divorce, she met this man, Wade Griffin, at a rodeo. Wade's family owned a hog-raising business, hogs that were slaughtered and sold for meat. Taylor and Wade got serious quickly, too quickly. People in Wade's life were wary of Taylor right off the bat. She had a reputation. After only weeks of dating, Taylor told Wade that when she met him, she was pregnant, but that she lost the baby to a miscarriage. Wade comforted Taylor, and the two of them grew closer as they discussed this loss. Wade fell for Taylor fast, but only a month or so into the relationship, there were red flags. Taylor Parker liked to tell stories, big stories. This is Texas, after all. Taylor told Wade that she was heiress to a multi-million-dollar gas and oil fortune. Taylor said that her mom, who Taylor called Fake Shauna, wanted the money, and so her own mother had put a hit out on Taylor, had tried to have her own daughter murdered, so Taylor would be out of the way, and Shauna would get Taylor's portion of the inheritance. Taylor confided in Wade that she was terrified of her mother and was constantly on edge because she knew her own mother wanted her dead. Wade felt sorry for Taylor and he wanted to protect her. So he told her, "Why don't you move in with me? That way I'm always around and I can keep an eye out for anything suspicious." So Taylor moved into Wade's home. One night, Wade came home and Taylor was hysterical. She said she discovered that her mother had been hacking into her phone. And as Taylor was learning more and more about how her mother was doing this, she discovered that her mother was in cahoots with the Mexican mafia. And now the Mexican mafia was out to get Taylor. Taylor told Wade that these Mexican mafia members had even been in a shootout with the FBI that ended with several gangsters dead. It was a huge event, but it had all been covered up because the government didn't want word of the Mexican mafia members in the area. The government didn't want people to panic. It was all very dramatic, and Taylor was terrified. Wade worked hard. Farmers and people who make their money raising animals, that's very hard work. And the money is good, but it's also very expensive, and you need a line of credit to purchase equipment and things you need for those types of businesses. Well, Taylor told Wade that she really wanted to buy some expensive things, but you see, her money was all tied up because her mother was fighting her on the inheritance. I'm sorry, I can't keep a straight face. So Taylor talked Wade into buying things like side-by-sides, cars, promising to pay him back when she got her inheritance, which was going to be released by the courts any day now. Wade Griffin went into massive debt buying the things that Taylor wanted, believing that he would be paid back when this money came in. In the beginning, Wade's family liked Taylor, but when they saw him buying all of these things that he couldn't afford, they grew concerned. They grew more concerned when they learned that Taylor had lost custody of her 2 children. That is, I don't know if there's a bigger red flag than that for me. I know there are exceptions, but by and large, when a mother loses custody of her kids, that sets off alarm bells for me. Wade's family, who had also been told these big stories about how rich Taylor was going to be, noticed that Wade didn't seem to be that into Taylor. They knew this guy and they could see he just didn't like this girl the way she liked him. So that was further cause for concern. Why was he buying all of these expensive items for someone they could tell he didn't really like, let alone love? One day, Taylor tells Wade that she wants to buy a huge piece of property along the Red River. She wanted to buy this $5 million property. So Wade and his family had their own private hunting reserve. Now, for those of you that don't hunt, having private property to hunt on is a really big deal in that world. If you don't have access to private property, you're left putting in to draw out every season. You have to enter a lottery of sorts. And then if your name gets chosen by the state, you get a hunting license. If not, you don't get to hunt. Or you have to hunt in the open public areas, and the hunting's never that good. Taylor is all excited about making this huge purchase for his boyfriend and his family. And she contacts the listing agent, a man named Rusty Lowe, and tells him that she wants to buy the property. Well, Rusty is thinking, how is this 29-year-old woman going to buy a $5 million parcel of land? Oh, Taylor tells him, I am the heiress, not to oil and gas money, but to the Blackburn Syrup Company, like maple syrup. Good con artists are brilliant in the way they weave lies together. She doesn't say she is the heiress to, Chanel or Nike. She picks something a lot more obscure, like the Blackburn Syrup Company. Something you probably can't Google, something a lot of people don't really care about. It's really quite masterful, and we see this all the time with narcissists, cult leaders, people like that, the way they weave the lies together, and they always include a little bit of truth in the lies they tell. I mean, not so much with Taylor, but you get what I'm saying. Taylor tells Rusty Lowe, the real estate agent, my family owns that company, so the money isn't a problem. When I was researching this, I haven't heard of Blackburn Syrup. It's Mrs. Butterworth's. They're nothing for me. But this is a huge company that sells syrup in stores like Walmart. I don't know if we have it in our area. Taylor offers $3.5 million on this piece of property, significantly less than what the property owners were asking for. But a deal is struck, and Taylor is supposed to pay $200,000 in earnest money. Usually, if you're going to get a deal on property, you have to come up with more earnest money than you would probably have to on another deal. And earnest money is non-refundable. If the deal falls apart, you don't get that money back. Rusty tells Taylor that he will need to verify her income in order to put the deal into action. And Taylor says she will send Rusty official proof of her income via bank communication. It's going to prove that Taylor has $7 million in the bank in one account. So it's Christmas of 2019, and on Christmas Day, Wade and Taylor surprise Wade's family with the news. They are going to own their own hunting reserve. The family is thrilled, couldn't be happier. For the rest of their lives and the lives of those who come after them in their family, they will have this beautiful, pristine property to hunt on. The Christmas holiday winds down, and Rusty Lowe, the real estate agent, calls Taylor to let her know that this $7 million proof of income verification has never come in. Taylor tells Rusty, oh, there's an issue with the syrup money. Let me get you an account statement from my oil and gas money, showing you that I have millions in that account. Well, you already know Rusty never gets that verification either. But as all of this is taking place, Taylor is still out shopping for additional properties. In total, she wants to buy properties totaling more than $20 million. Taylor is rich. She is rich. Rusty calls to tell Taylor that they have no verification, and so the deal is going to fall apart. Oh, no worries, says Taylor. She has a rich uncle. His name is Butch, because of course it is. And so Butch is going to provide the verification that Taylor needs to get this deal done. By this time, old Rusty is more than a little suspicious, and so he calls Wade. Wade knows nothing about any of this. He's totally in the dark, and at this point, Rusty knows this girl is either stringing him along or pulling something really shady, or she's just out and out lying. Then Taylor goes to Rusty and gives him 2 separate checks. Each is written for $150,000. So Rusty thinks, well, maybe this is actually going to happen. It's not. It's not, you guys. 2 days after giving Rusty the checks, Taylor asks for them back. But when she does, she takes documents proving that she owns oil and gas leases in the area worth millions. Rusty takes these oil and gas leases to a landman who quickly informs Rusty these are all fake. These leases don't exist. Taylor even makes a fake email account. This is so crazy. Guess what the email address is? shelloil@aol.com. Shell Oil is most definitely using an AOL address, you guys, and it's just called shelloil@aol.com. Rusty emails the company back and receives a reply telling him that Shell Oil is a very confidential company and cannot release any information about Taylor. Can you believe this woman? I mean, you talk about narcissistic, psychotic behavior, and this is nothing compared to what Taylor does later on that is not funny or cheeky in any way. So Taylor then calls Rusty and tells him that the deal is off and that she is devastated. Why? Because she has just found out that she is not rich. There is no oil and gas inheritance, no syrup fortune. It was all made up by her own psychotic mother, Shauna. Taylor tells Rusty that her mother has been lying to her and that nothing she has been told about her family being rich is true. So the deal is off. Rusty has just lost over $1 million in commission, and Taylor just goes on her way. But she has a lot to look forward to because, you see, Taylor Parker is pregnant. She tells Wade, and he and his family are so excited. Wade's first child is on the way. To celebrate, Taylor buys Wade's mom, Connie, a brand new car, this silver Nissan that she'd been wanting for a while. Connie is thrilled, but not for long, because after a couple of weeks, Taylor informs Connie that the car has been recalled because it is dangerous and has to be taken back to the dealership for a new engine. Taylor comes and picks up the car, and Connie is like, something is not right here. So she calls the dealership, and they have absolutely no idea what Connie is talking about. There is no recall. The car was returned to the dealership because it had been repossessed. Repossessed. Taylor was allowed to take the car using fake documents, and when those documents were revealed to be fake, Taylor had to return the car. She's lucky she didn't go to jail. I'm surprised she didn't. Taylor kind of brushes the whole thing off and tells Wade's family that she cannot focus on these money problems because it is causing her stress, and she is pregnant, you guys. She can't have the stress. One of Wade's sister-in-laws, Angela Pate, becomes suspicious of Taylor. Taylor and Angela had grown close, and during one of their conversations, Taylor told Angela something Taylor's mother already knew. You guys, Taylor Parker had undergone a hysterectomy. She had no uterus. Angela goes to Taylor after finding out she's telling people she's pregnant, and Angela says, "What's the deal here?" "Oh, you thought this bitch Taylor was crazy before. You're about to find out how crazy she is." Taylor claims that this pregnancy is happening because God wants it to. She has had a hysterectomy, but she is still pregnant because God wants her to be pregnant. This is just next level insanity. It is biologically, physically, humanly impossible for Taylor to be pregnant, but she is so special that God wants her to be pregnant without a uterus. Where is this baby going to grow? Where is the nourishment coming from? I'm laughing because if I don't, I'll start screaming. We all better cross our fingers and hope that Taylor never wants to start a cult because she would make millions. She would have people following her in a heartbeat because she is out of her mind. And as we know, there are lots of people just lining up to follow people that are crazy. Taylor is posting on social media showing pregnancy test results, ultrasound photos, even stick tests, urine tests, like TMI, proof that she is pregnant. In April of 2020, Taylor even sends medical documents to her sister-in-law, Angela. I mean, she and Wade weren't married, but you know what I mean. Showing that she is pregnant. Well, Angela quickly notices that the patient name on the documents is not Taylor's. Oh, that's just a conspiracy, Taylor tells Angela. Taylor says that her mom, fake Shauna, has a friend that works at the clinic, and Shauna must have told the doctors or the nurses to change the name on the medical documents to undermine Taylor. These people exist. These people exist. There's more of them out there than any of us want to believe. Taylor then tells Angela that the story about her mom taking out a hit on her is just a cover story. Taylor says that her mom, Shauna, actually committed suicide, and Taylor doesn't want anyone to know. I can't even finish the story. It is so ridiculous. Shauna is then seen at a Christmas party, and everyone is like, she has risen from the dead. No, they weren't. They didn't say that. They knew. Taylor had been lying about everything. Angela then gets an email saying horrible things about Taylor. It says things like, I love making Taylor look bad. I love ruining her life. And Taylor tells Angela that that email is from her mother, the dead mother who has risen from the grave to grandmother, God's baby. The baby that is growing somewhere in Taylor because she doesn't have a uterus. It's going to be an alien situation. Chest burster. In this email, there are details about all the fake property purchases, and the emailer says that this has been done intentionally to make Wade leave Taylor. Taylor tells Angela, this is my mom. She wants to break me and Wade up because we're happy. Taylor and Wade then pose for maternity photos as Taylor's pregnancy progresses. You can see here, she looks very, very pregnant, and she's constantly posting about the pregnancy on social media, even saying that she needs prayers because she's having medical issues. Oh, Taylor Parker was having issues, but they weren't medical. They were all in her head. Taylor Parker calls her close friend, Reagan Simmons Hancock, and tells her that she is going to drive to her house in New Boston to visit her. Reagan was a mother, and she was 7.5 months pregnant with a little girl that she was going to name Braxlyn Sage. So Taylor drives over for a visit and then leaves Reagan's house. As Taylor is driving home around noon, she is pulled over by a Texas state trooper. As the trooper goes to the car, Taylor says, I can't pull over for long. I've just had my baby. The cop looks in the car and is shocked to see Taylor covered in blood. There is blood all over the car, and there is a newborn baby girl sitting on the seat next to Taylor. The cop wants to take Taylor to the nearest hospital, but she insists on going to McCurtain Memorial Hospital in Idabel, Oklahoma, which is an hour away. Taylor says that is the only hospital she trusts, and she is hysterical. I do not know why this cop agreed, but he did. And he calls for an ambulance for Taylor and the baby to drive an hour away to McCurtain. Taylor is admitted to the hospital, and almost immediately, the medical staff knows something is very wrong. Taylor is given a blood test. There is no HCG in her blood. HCG is a hormone that is present in pregnant women who have a placenta in their body, and that hormone stays in the body for 6 weeks after pregnancy. The hospital staff then call the police, who arrive within minutes.
So she shows no signs. You can't check for hemorrhaging. What is HCG?
It's a hormone that is secreted by the placenta only.
Okay.
And if there's a baby in there, the HCG is what the hormone that mandates going and getting the nutrients and bringing it to baby.
Okay.
So it's in mama's blood, mama's urine, mama's everything.
Okay.
And it stays up for 6 weeks.
Okay. All right.
It's taken off. You don't want no part.
Huh?
You don't want no part of this. Who took it off? He's the OBGYN. Yeah, I was the one that got called up resuscitating the baby.
What did we step into? Oh, it's interesting.
Lamar County called here too. Lamar County. I talked to Texarkana and then Bowie County.
So when I'm talking and they're talking, I don't understand. They've never done this before. Why are they keeping me? I was like, hey, I'm just the ER doc here. I said, I don't know why you're not up and up.
Okay. She's in there. She refuses to have a vaginal check to make sure she's not hemorrhaging. They've done an ultrasound and HCG, and it doesn't show that she's been pregnant. Okay. They have the placenta.
Where's she?
She is in the room. She
You're
is
not letting her leave?
No.
Taylor is given an ultrasound. Not only is she not swollen, but there's no uterus. Taylor refuses to allow hospital staff to give her a vaginal exam. They plead with her, telling her they must check for hemorrhaging. Taylor absolutely refuses. She has the baby with the placenta still attached, and she is hysterical. An officer then goes into the emergency room to speak with Taylor Parker.
What's your name?
Taylor Parker.
Taylor? Hey, my name's Chad Stansby. I'm a OSBI agent up here, and I heard you brought your baby in. Did you give birth on the side of the road or something?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Where was that here? In Curtin County?
No, it was in DeKalb.
DeKalb, down in Texas?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So what happened this morning? Did you just go into labor on the side of the road?
No, I was supposed to ride with my fiance, and we own a hog buying facility, and we were gonna come through here, but I was having contractions and stuff and wasn't feeling good, so I stayed at home and told him we would just meet here after he dropped the hogs at 7, and he got tied up. I mean, he's on his way.
Okay. All right. Now how did you get here? Did you drive yourself?
No, an ambulance brought
you?
me. Yes,
Oh, okay.
LifeNet.
Oh, okay. The nurses said that you weren't wanting to let the doctor check you to make sure you weren't hemorrhaging or anything.
They did an ultrasound.
The hemorrhaging is the bleeding, whether you're passing clots or not passing clots. It's really good to have you checked for that, because I know I was passing massive clots and they were about to start giving me blood. That's why they're wanting to check how, any damage, and check to make sure you're not bleeding inside internally. That's why they're wanting to make sure.
That's okay, that's fine. I didn't know it was a big deal not to want the guy to do that.
No, I mean, if you don't want to, that's up to you, but that's why they're wanting to check, just to make sure.
Make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, you've got blood all over you and all over your fingernails, and I mean, that's a pretty intense thing.
Having it on the side of the road.
Yeah.
It's scary. You want to make sure you're okay.
Back in New Boston, a woman named Jessica Brooks is at work. Her son-in-law, Homer, called her to say that he was trying to reach Jessica's daughter on the phone, and he was concerned because she wasn't picking up. Who is Jessica's daughter? Homer's wife, Reagan Simmons Hancock, Taylor Parker's friend. Jessica leaves work to race to Reagan's house, and on the way, she stops at her granddaughter Kinley's daycare to pick Kinley up. Jessica walks into the reception desk and tells the daycare staff that she is there to pick up Kinley. If you're not familiar with modern daycares, you can't just walk into them. You have to stop at the reception desk, check in, and then get buzzed through a locked door, and that's a good thing. The daycare employee comes back and tells Jessica that Kinley is not there. So now Jessica is in a panic. She rushes to her daughter Reagan's home. She called her husband Marcus and said, I think I need to go to the police station. And Marcus told Jessica, first you need to go to Reagan's house. And so that's what Jessica did. As Jessica neared Reagan's house, she saw that the garage door was up, and that door was never left up. Then she stopped her car and got out. And as she walked to the house, Jessica saw streaks of blood in the driveway. She told herself, well, one of the pets must have been injured, and that's what this is all about. She saw more blood as she reached the front door of the house. Jessica reached for the doorknob and saw it was covered in blood. She took her shirt and covered her hand before turning the doorknob. She walked in and saw a bloody shoe print on the kitchen floor. And then Jessica said she backed out of the house instinctively, not knowing what to do. But then she thought, if my baby's in there and she's hurt, I got to get her. So she opened the door and went inside. There, Jessica found her daughter Reagan on the floor, face down, with her arm over her head. There was blood everywhere. Reagan's blonde hair was red with blood. The kitchen was ransacked. Jessica yelled, Reagan, it's Mama, please speak to me. And there was no reply. Jessica didn't see her granddaughter either, and she was terrified she was going to find her body. She picked up the phone and called 911. She hysterically told the dispatcher, somebody's murdered my baby. There's blood everywhere. Somebody needs to come. Marcus arrived shortly after Jessica did. She begged him not to go inside, but he did. And then Marcus collapsed in the driveway. He gathered himself, determined to find his granddaughter. He went back into the house and was yelling Kinley's name. At first, there was no reply, but then there was a faint reply. Marcus stepped around his daughter's body and the massive pools of blood in the house, looking in each room until he found Kinley in the back bedroom. She was terrified, she was shaking, and she was sitting under a blanket on her bed. Oh, my Lord. I'm kind of trying to rush through this part. Marcus threw that blanket over the little girl's head so she wouldn't see anything, and he ran out of the house with her. This could be me. This could be you. It could be any of us, and my heart breaks for these parents and this little girl. The cops arrived. Reagan's husband arrived. The police had to restrain him to stop him from going inside. Reagan Hancock had been murdered in one of the most gruesome and bloody crimes many of the officers had ever seen. Her friend, Taylor Parker, had attacked Reagan, stabbed her to death, and then violently cut her unborn baby from her womb. Taylor ran from the house with the baby, leaving blood everywhere, and you know the rest of that part of the story. What you don't know is that in the ambulance ride on the way to the hospital, the baby died. Paramedics gave the infant epinephrine. They intubated her. They performed CPR. There was nothing they could do. She was gone, and the police decide it's now time to let Taylor know she's been caught.
Taylor, here's the deal. I'm just going to be up front with you. I've been talking to the DA down in Booty County, and they've been working on a case down there. And we know that you had a hysterectomy some time back, and that you claimed to be pregnant for a while, but that you really weren't. So we're trying to figure out where this baby came from. But you didn't give birth this morning.
What do you mean?
That's what I just said. You didn't give birth this morning. And we want to know where this baby came from. So what happened?
I just told y'all what happened.
Okay. What's the doctor going to find when he comes in and checks you? Is he going to find you just gave birth? They can tell. When he looks, he can tell in about a second if you gave birth or not.
Oh, okay.
They found a woman this morning on the side of the road, and her baby had been removed from her body. And then you show up with a baby. And the information is you've had a hysterectomy. There's no way you could have been pregnant. Even though you've been telling people for a while you've been pregnant. There's no way you could have been pregnant.
I didn't hurt anybody on the side of the road.
Well, I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying that there's a woman that had her baby removed from her body. Her body's found on the side of the road. I didn't say you did. I just want to know what happened, where this baby came from.
Who is the lady? Do you know who she is?
I don't know what lady you're talking about.
Okay.
So, it surely doesn't look like a baby came out of there. It doesn't look like she had a baby.
It doesn't?
No.
Okay.
Does not look like she had a baby there.
Essentially what we have is we have a dead woman down in Texas. And you took the baby out of her, which caused her to die. And my question is Taylor a cold-blooded murderer? Or is it something else? I mean, sometimes people have, they go through depression and, some mental issues and things. Causes good people to make bad choices, right? And that's kind of where I'm here at today. I knew that doctor wasn't going to find anything. Because I already know a lot of things I ask, I already know the answer to before I ask. I tell you, most of the people are going to assume the worst. They're going to assume you're an evil person and that you just butchered this lady and left her to rot on the side of the road so you steal her baby. I don't think that was the case. I mean, you don't seem like that type of person, man.
I didn't kill anybody.
Where'd this baby come from? We're past all of that. Taylor, we're past that.
I did not kill anybody. I didn't kill anybody.
So was she alive when you left?
I wasn't with her.
Right now, the DA down there who I've talked to believes that you're a cold-blooded killer and that you plotted for the last 8 months to murder this woman and steal her baby. And right now, the evidence is there. They can prove it without a shadow of a doubt that that's what happened. They can prove that you murdered that woman. How heinous is it? Some woman, everybody's happy, they're having showers, and then somebody comes along and cuts her damn baby out of her gut. That's what we got right now. And that's what you need to understand. That's the point where we're at. We're past all this nonsense about, I wasn't there, I didn't kill nobody. We're past all of that. We know it. We know you did it. There's no doubt whatsoever. You didn't mean to hurt her. Are you sad she's dead? Is it the deal you just wanted a baby so bad that it just kind of overpowered your brain and everything?
My head's been hurting.
Your head's been hurting.
I had a stroke in 2015.
You go over to her house and what happened there?
I remember pulling up.
Did she say something to you to make you mad or something? Or what happened?
She grabbed a hold of me and told me that I was a liar.
Did you try to fight back?
We both fought back.
You both fought back?
We both hit each other.
Okay, all right. Let me get
And she hit her head on the table.
She hit her head on the table. Okay. You tried to save the baby, so did you I guess you got the baby out of it. You do like a C-section on it. You don't remember. So how did you go from her laying there with her head hit to you having the baby in your hand?
I just remember trying to save the baby.
Did you stick her with the knife? Or once
No,
you
she fell with the knife because I shoved her.
Okay, so she gets the knife back from you?
We both had it in our hands a few times.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to get it right in my head, you know what I mean? So
She told me that I was gonna rot and that she'd kill me
okay.
if I touched her again.
And she's got the knife. Did she fall on the knife? Is that what you believe? Or is that what you know? Or you don't know?
She had to because I didn't stab her.
Okay, that's fine. So afterwards, did it look like she'd been, like the knife had hit
She grabbed something and started smacking herself with it and told me that they would believe I did it.
her? Oh, okay, so she started hitting herself with something. Do you remember cutting her open to get the baby out? Did you have much trouble getting it up, cutting her open? You didn't? Okay. So you take the baby out of her stomach. Is that right?
It fell out like she was pushing
Mm-hmm.
and it come out.
It come out of her vagina?
No,
Or out of her stomach? Okay. All
because
right.
she was still in the sack.
Oh, okay. All right. So it comes out of her stomach and it's still in the sack. Did you have to pull the sack apart to get the baby out?
Yeah, to pull it open and turned her over and started smacking her back.
Taylor tries to blame this on a fight. There was a fight, all right. It is later revealed that Reagan had tissue from the placenta under her fingernails. Even as she lay on the floor of her home, stabbed, slashed open and dying, she was trying to hang on to her baby as Taylor took it away from her. Oof. Taylor Parker is arrested. We could talk for another 40 minutes about the reaction of Wade, his family, Taylor's family, the fact that they all had to admit they saw the red flags, but never imagined Taylor was so dangerous. I feel for them, even though they ignored the red flags. You don't ever think someone is going to do something so horrific. Shauna Pryor, Taylor's mother, told the media, "Not much you can do about a fake pregnancy. She knew she wasn't pregnant. We knew she wasn't pregnant. There was no need to come up with a plan. We figured that the lie would be exposed, that he would find out." Shauna Pryor was with Taylor when she had her hysterectomy. This woman had no uterus and her mother knew it. And I take issue with Shauna's statement. There is something you can do about a fake pregnancy. You can expose it. You can inform the people being hurt by this lie. Had Shauna done that, this entire ruse could have been uncovered earlier, and Reagan and Braxlyn might still be alive. Taylor is the only one to truly blame for this murder, but had Shauna contacted Wade or his family, had she said, my daughter doesn't have a uterus, there's no way she could be pregnant, this lie would have been exposed and there wouldn't have been a reason for Taylor to kill Reagan. I mean, she didn't have a reason, but you know what I'm saying. Taylor's trial began in the fall of 2020. Experts testified to the horrific crime scene, stating that Reagan's death was slow and painful. She had tried to get up. There was blood on the couch. Oh my goodness, I can't. This next part. One of Kinley's tiny swimsuits had been used by Taylor to try and mop up the blood. That detail hit me so hard. A darling, cute little girl swimsuit. Those swimsuits are so cute. Being used like that. I've got a bunch of those cute little swimsuits hanging in my own house, and just something about a little kid's cute piece of clothing being used to mop up their mother's blood. Reagan Simmons Hancock fought for her life, and she fought for her baby's life. She most likely died wondering if Kinley was going to be murdered. Prosecutors were seeking the death penalty, and Taylor Parker deserves nothing less. No one from her family attended the trial. In November, Taylor was found guilty, and she was sentenced to death. She is sitting on death row at the Patrick O'Daniel unit in Gatesville, Texas. It will be years before she faces execution. That day cannot come soon enough. I don't have words to tell Reagan's family how sorry we all are. There are no words to express how tragic this is. They lost Reagan. They lost Braxlyn. Kinley lost her mom. Homer lost his wife. It is just too awful to wrap your head around. I want to send them love from the Dark Hearts community and let them know we are thinking of them, and I hope they are healing in the best way possible. As for Taylor Parker, I hope every single day she spends in prison is miserable. I hope she doesn't get the visitors that she is eligible for. I hope she's lonely. And I hope that, as an agnostic person, I am wrong, and the hottest fires of hell await her. She deserves nothing less. Whew, that was a bad one. Thank you for joining me today on Dark Hearts with Stacy Lee. Especially thank you to my patrons. Your support means the world to me. If you join my Patreon, you will get bonus content that you cannot see or hear anywhere else. This is my podcast. It's on Apple and Spotify. I post brand new episodes every Monday and Wednesday. We've got 2 fundraisers going. You can watch this short video to find out about our DNA fundraiser, and you can watch this short that will tell you how you can win this painting, a painting of mine that I've donated, by donating $5 to NECMEC, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. We're going to have a little digital rally in about 2 weeks, and for $5 you could own this painting. I sure appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of it. Stay safe, my friends, and be kind to each other, and I will see you next time on Dark Hearts with Stacy Lee. Bye.